Tofinga doing here talking about, he's a male, a very handsome male, but, and it's funny you say that because I remember saying to my mum when I came up yesterday, I said, Mum, promotion HPV. I'm going to Auckland to do the promotion for the HPV. My mum said, what's the HPV? I said, that is the human papilloma virus. My mum said, what? I said, it's the human papilloma. She said, Pavlova? I said, papilloma. She said, Tipaloma? I said, just HPV. She said, oh, that's good KFC. So I guess just to answer your questions, you're probably thinking, like I said before, why am I here to talk about HPV? Is the reason why I'm here is may not affect me physically, but affects me emotionally and spiritually. And the reason why I say that is because I've had aunties, I've had cousins, girl cousins that have passed away from cancer. I want to say that we have a very special message that will be presented on a screen in front of you. Very important DVD. This goes out to all the young girls from 11 to 19 years of age.
HPV is a common virus which both men and women can catch and pass on. In a small number of women, the HPV virus can lead to cervical cancer. However, cervical cancer is one of the easiest cancers to prevent. You can do this by choosing to be immunised now and having regular smear tests when you are older.
Kia ora. We can help beat cervical cancer, but first we have to understand it. Cervical cancer is a type of cancer that occurs in a woman's reproductive system. Every year in New Zealand, about 60 women die from cervical cancer. The main cause is a common virus called the human papillomavirus, or HPV. Girls and young women in New Zealand can now be immunised for free against the types of HPV that cause most cervical cancer. Being immunised now means it's less likely you'll get cervical cancer later.
Hi girls. Hi miss. What's up?
Come. I don't really know what HPV is.
That's cool, take a seat and I'll tell you. So HPV is a virus that's really common and easily spread from one person to another through sexual contact. You may not be at risk at the moment, but it's possible you can catch it when you're older. In fact, 4 out of 5 people will have the virus at some point during their life. Most of the time the virus is killed by the body's immune system, but not always, and that's when it can lead to cervical cancer, sometimes up to 20 years later. So it's best not to get it in the first place. Immunisation can prevent infection from the types of the HPV virus that cause most cervical cancers.
How does the HPV immunisation happen?
You'll need to have 3 injections in your upper arm, but don't worry, not all at once. The injections are usually spread over 6 months to make sure it works as well as possible. You'll have the first injection, then the second injection 2 months later, and then the third injection 4 months after that.
It takes 3 injections of the vaccine to protect you against the HPV virus for at least 5 years after you've been immunised, and probably much longer. Now you know how the immunisation against HPV can help beat cervical cancer. Here's what you need to do next. You'll be given some information about HPV and cervical cancer, and a consent form to take away with you. When you get home, have a chat with your mum and dad or caregiver and show them the information about the HPV immunisation. The consent form gives the nurse permission to give you the injections.
Not much, but I did get this.
Get your bag off the bench, thanks. What's this?
It's a consent form for the HPV immunisation.
Oh, good. So you've read it?
Yeah, most of it.
So you'll be able to tell me all about it then?
It's an immunisation that can help stop me from getting cervical cancer.
So, you want the HPV immunisation? Well, all you need to do is hand in the signed consent form. Your school will arrange a day for you to have the immunisation. The injection will be given to you at school by a nurse.
And if you want any more information on cervical cancer, cervical screening or the HPV vaccine, ask the nurse or go to www.cervicalcancervaccine.govt.nz.